Hello there, welcome to Pre-Cal Lecture 2.2, where we're going to talk about linear equation word problems. And this time you have some pre-printed notes. So you just get out the pre-printed notes that say 2.2 up in the other upper right corner, and we're going to go through both the front and the back in this lecture. All right, so our first one, section 2.2.1, solving for perimeter. So it says the length of a Pop-Tart is 3 centimeters less than twice its width. If it has a perimeter of 54 centimeters, what is its width? All right. Well, let's talk about how we can, so section 2.2.1, the steps to solving, so you've got room to write this up there, solving a word problem. All right, so step one would be to assign a variable. Now, it can help to draw a picture, so let's just go ahead and draw a picture of a Pop-Tart. So kind of a rectangle there, maybe it's got a little icing. All right, maybe some sort of treat within the icing there. And we want to call W equal to width. All right, and it says in the text of the problem that the length, so that would be these two sides, is 3 centimeters less than twice its width. So that would be 2W minus 3. And 2W minus 3. So that's the twice its width minus 3 centimeters. So it really helps to draw a picture and just label the sides here. So step two is we want to form an equation. Well, we're told that the perimeter, which would be all the sides added up, is 54 centimeters. So what we've got here is W on the top here plus 2W minus 3 plus another W at the bottom plus another 2W minus 3 on the other side is equal to 54 centimeters. So let's add up all the W's. We've got 1 plus 2 is 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 6W. And then minus 3 and minus 3, so minus 6 is equal to 54. So add 6 to both sides. 6W would be 60. So W, all right, and W is equal to, so step 3 is solve the equation. So I did that up here. So W is equal to 10 centimeters. All right, and could we get the length? All right, it asked for what is its width. We could also get the length. We know that the length is 2W minus 3, so that's going to be 2 times 10 minus 3, which would be 17 centimeters. Okay, it didn't ask for that, but if it did, easy to plug back in and get it. All right. So we start off with a pretty easy one there. Pretty algebra 1. Okay, so our next example, so we are down here in the middle of the page, 2 equations and 2 unknowns. So what we're going to have is what we call a system of equations. All right, so it says a rectangular strip of paper has a perimeter of 26 centimeters. The sum of the length and twice the width is 16 centimeters. How wide is the paper? Okay, well, let's come up with a couple of equations. So we'll go ahead and draw a rectangle. So a rectangular sheet of paper. All right, so I'll call the top W and each side L for length and width. And we know that it has a perimeter of 26 centimeters. So that's going to be W plus L plus W plus L is equal to 26. Well, an easier way to write that would be 2W, because we've got two of those, plus 2L is equal to 26. And we could simplify that by dividing both sides by 2. So that would be W plus L is equal to 13. And then we're kind of stuck because we have two unknowns there. All right, but it also says in the problem that the sum of the length and twice the width is 16 centimeters. So we can get a second equation. The sum of the length and twice the width, so plus 2W, is equal to 16. Now we know from up here, so we can solve for probably the easiest one. We could say, we could rearrange this equation 1, so let's call this equation 1, equation 2. Rearrange equation 1 into L is equal to 13 minus W. So see, if we subtract W from both sides, L is equal to 13 minus W. And then I can plug that in right here. So I would have 13 minus W plus 2W is equal to 16. So 13 plus W is equal to 16. W is equal to 16 minus 13, which would be 3 centimeters. All right, so did it ask for the, it just asked how wide is the paper, but we could get the length, right? If we wanted to, length is 13 minus, so length is right up here, so 13 minus 3, which would be 10 centimeters. Didn't ask for that, but if it did, pretty easy to find it. All right, so there's one with two equations and two unknowns, and we have a system. This is called, what he did right here with this long arrow is called a substitution. All right, so I'm sure you've seen that before, but Algebra 1 and Algebra 2, we're going to do a lot of that in solving word problems. Okay, so turn your notes over, and we're in 2.2.2 now. And we'll be talking about linear, and you don't have to write this down, geometry problems. All right, so it says, the first one says a right circular cylinder has a radius of 6 inches. If the volume is 144 pi inches cubed, what is its height? Okay, well, I wouldn't really expect you to remember the equation for the volume of a right circular cylinder, but you probably dealt with that in geometry class. But if we were just to draw one out here, so it's like a can. The radius is the center to the edge. So there in purple, we'll call that the radius. The height would be that. So we know there's a couple of formulas here. We have the area of a circle. I do expect you to remember that. That's pi times radius squared. And the volume of a cylinder is going to be pi r squared h. So I wouldn't expect you to remember that, but I do expect you to remember the area of a circle. All right, and there's a couple of other things. So we're given that we know the radius, it's 6 inches, and we know the volume is 144 pi inches cubed. So we can say 144 pi inches cubed is equal to pi times our radius, so that's 6, that's inches, and we're wanting to know what's the height, so I've got to square that, r squared h. Alright, so solving for height, what we're going to do is divide. We're going to bring the pi and the 6 squared underneath. We're going to bring these two underneath to solve for h. So h is 144 pi over 6 squared is 36, right? So 36 pi. The pi's would cancel out. 144 over 36 is 4 inches. So this time we didn't have to have a system of equations here. All right, but that's our first example. All right, and then our second example, and this is the last one of this nice short little lecture, says the perimeter of a triangle is 38 centimeters. The first side is 3 centimeters shorter than the second side. The third side is 9 centimeters shorter than double the length of the first side. Find the length of the shortest side. All right. Well, let's draw a triangle. They don't all have the same side length, but let's call this side 1, side 2, and side 3, like that. So we have information about the first side and the third side. Don't really have anything about the second side, so I'm just going to call the second side x. Okay, so it says the first side is 3 centimeters shorter than the second side. Well, tell me in your head, because you can't talk to me, what could we write in terms of x, the first side? Well, it would be x minus 3. And then how about the third side? It says it's 9 centimeters shorter than double the length of the first side. Well, we know the first side is x minus 3. Double that would be 2 times x minus 3. And then it's 9 centimeters shorter than that. So we have to put a minus 9 down there. All right, well, we know that the perimeter is 38 centimeters. So let's do an equation for the perimeter. It's going to be x minus 3 plus, so that's side 1, x, that's side 2, plus 2 times x minus 3 minus 9. So that's all three sides, right? Side 1, side 2, side 3 is equal to 38. And we want to find the length of the shortest side. Okay, so this would be x minus 3 plus x plus 2x, 2 times negative 3 minus 6 minus 9 is equal to 38. Add up all the x's, 1, 2, 3, 4, so we'd have 4x. And then on this side we have minus 18, because I have a negative 3, a negative 6, and a negative 9, is equal to 38. Add 18 to both sides. So 38 plus 18 would be 56. And so x, if you take 56 over 4, divide both sides by 4, x is going to equal to 14 centimeters. Now that is side 2. I don't know if that is the shortest side or not. So side 1, so let's plug everything in. Side 1 is x minus 3, right? So 14 minus 3, which would be 11 centimeters. And then side 3 is going to be 2 times 14 minus 3 minus 9. So that's going to be 22 minus 9, which is 13 centimeters. So the shortest side is side 1, which is 11 centimeters. Okay, so your homework is worksheet I believe it says on it 2.2a. I used to have a 2.2b, but we don't have that anymore, so there won't be a 2.2b. It may just say 2.2, but it's got 6 problems on it. And just a few formulas that you might need to remember would be that the volume of a box is equal to length times width times height. All right, that's the volume of a box. We've already talked about the area of a circle and the volume of a cylinder. You'll also remember the area of a rectangle. So area of a rectangle, do you remember what that is? It's just length times width. I don't know if we need this, but the circumference of a circle. Do you remember that one? It's 2 pi r. All right, so I would expect you to know the simpler geometric area and volume equations. Area of a circle. I wouldn't expect you to remember the volume of a cylinder, though. So anything that's super fancy, I would give you. All right, well, that does it. I don't really have any special instructions for the homework. So just see how you do, and then you can watch the solutions video for any that you struggle with. So that'll be it for this video, and I'll talk to you on the next one.